Hello, welcome to a fight predictions video. This is Sergey Kovalev versus Pascal. So this upcoming weekend, Sergey Kovalev is defending his WBA, IBF, WBO light heavyweight titles. I didn't know much about this fight because I've been quite busy with university stuff as well, but then I looked at the fight schedule and I saw that Kovalev and Pascal were fighting in a light heavyweight title bout. So the predictions for this fight, I do think Kovalev will win. Simply the fact that he's probably not faced maybe better opposition, but he's probably more active, and he's got obviously much more motivation probably for this fight. But then again, Pascal is a former WBC champion, but he has lost to the likes of Bernard Hopkins as well, which is quite disappointing. But then again, Bernard Hopkins is a great fighter. As many people do know, Sergey Kovalev has come off probably his best win of his career against Bernard Hopkins last year, which in a big unification fight. In that fight, he dominated Hopkins from start to finish, winning every single round, every judge's scorecard, which is a big achievement in itself because Bernard Hopkins is a really good world-class fighter. But then again, Bernard Hopkins is 49 years old, nearly 50 years old now, so I do think many people overlook that fight as a great achievement, as he is a lot older than Kovalev. But back to the prediction, Pascal's for the likes of Chad Dawson as well, beat him. That was a long time ago. I think that was about 5 years ago. I think maybe 4 years ago. So that was a long time ago. But since then, there's been lost the likes of Bernard Hopkins, and he did fight Lucian Bute as well. I think it was last year or the year before. I'm not sure what the result for that fight was, but honestly, from 2011 onwards, I haven't heard much of Pascal. I know he's been still active and fighting, but I haven't really heard much about him since he lost to Bernard Hopkins, which is 4 years ago now. So I do think Kovalev is in a better position out of the two. They're both really good fighters, but I think if Kovalev was fighting the 2011 version of Pascal when he was champion, the fight would be a lot more competitive. But you never know what happens in boxing because anything can happen on the night. Pascal's got a lot of knockouts to his name. He's not the most natural power fighter ever, but he's got the technique and the skill to beat Kovalev if he's trained correctly and he's right frame of mind for the fight and he's really focused. I mean, it's a big fight, 3 world titles on the line, taking out the biggest punch in the light heavyweight division. In many people's eyes as well, he's probably seen as the best light heavyweight in the division, apart from Adonis Stevenson, who's the current WBC champion. For the after fights, if Kovalev does beat Pascal, I do think he should go on and face Adonis Stevenson, who I just said is the WBC champion. If Pascal fights, if he wins on Saturday, next fight should face Adonis Stevenson. In Adonis Stevenson's case, I do think Pascal would be the easier option. As I said, he isn't as good as he once was, in my opinion. And there'll be the easier option because Kovalev is more active. I do think, I'm not sure correctly, and obviously Kovalev is the better fighter too, just based on power alone. But for natural ability, I haven't seen much of either of the fighters, but I've seen enough of them to favour Pascal for the technique wise, but for the power and just strength and toughness, I would have to go for Kovalev. But like I said, it's people's opinion, so obviously this is my opinion. Don't get offended or anything by it. Write in the comments down below if you wish your predictions for the fight. But like I said, I'm not sure how this fight could end. Could it end by knockout? Could it end by decision? I mean, Kovalev fought Hopkins last time he fought, and he knocked him down in the first round but couldn't finish him. That's Hopkins is a tough fighter. So as Pascal, so it could be a repeat of the first of his last fight. When he fights Pascal, he could knock him down multiple times and still go the 12 rounds. But I do think Kovalev will win this fight as he's more powerful at the two and probably fighting better on balance if you look at the current form of the both fighters. But like I said, Pascal is a former champion, tough, and he's got a lot of run in this fight. Probably his final world title fight as well, as he isn't getting any younger. But you never know what might happen, and I will watch this fight on Saturday and do a review in it in the upcoming week. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.